Hello, good evening and welcome back to One Life Left, Britain's favourite video game radio show. I'm s10e Curran.
I'm Simon Byron.
And I'm Anne Scantlebury.
And
exactly.
It's so good to be back, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not quite used to it. I've put my headphones on before I've taken my bag off my shoulder, and now I can't take my bag off without taking my...
We're still getting back in. So we've had a summer break, haven't we? A little summer break, little holiday for us to do whatever we want for 4 or 6 weeks.
What did you do?
Me? I just sort of hung around bored waiting for One Life Left to start again because I've missed our listeners.
What did you do, Anne?
What didn't I do? Did loads of stuff. Loads of stuff.
What, so are you pleased to be back?
I am pleased to be back. Do you know why? Because everything else was just filling in time before we could get back in here.
Let's get cracking, shall we?
Let's really do it today.
Is this the start of a new series, Steve?
No, it's midway through the old one.
Mid-season break?
Yeah, something like that. We just need, we went so hard at the start of the season.
We're like, guys, we're shutting down the station.
Just come on, get back together. And now we're here. It's like a half-time break. We had our oranges.
Yep.
Is that what footballers have these days?
It's all it's sports drinks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sports drinks.
Nothing happened while we were away, did it?
Nothing. No news, I guess.
That's business as usual. Yeah, the games industry.
It's just been ticking along.
It's just been fine. Like everybody's, it's just been really
quiet summer. It's always quiet.
It is quiet, isn't it? Slow news day, etc.
Did you have fun writing the news today, Anne?
I wrote the new news, Steve. I wrote the new news.
It's a good job you leave everything till the last minute, isn't it? Didn't affect you at all.
No. Who else have we got in the studio today, though, Simon?
Well, yes.
Well, yes,
it's not just us, thankfully. We're going to kick off the second part of this series with Ollie Clarke. Hello, Ollie.
Good evening.
You're from LA Cops Limited, I believe. Is that how we? Is that?
Have you flown in from LA to see us?
I would love to think so, but no, I've got the train down from Leamington.
Excellent, that'll do. Leamington Cops.
Well, that's not LA though. Leamington.
Unless it's Leamington...
LE Cops.
Yeah, Lee Cops, yeah. So Ollie has come. Thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure.
I'm excited to have you here because I'm a big fan of your game. I'm not sure what... Yeah, I'm declaring my interests, by the way. Very big fan of your game. Delighted that you've been able to make it. And we'll be chatting to you some more about it in a second, won't we?
Okay, good. We should begin the show, as we have always done, with the news.
It's 7:03 on Monday the 15th of September. I'm Anne Scantlebury and this is the news. Microsoft has bought Mojang for $2.5 billion. Microsoft's Phil Spencer said of the acquisition, the Minecraft team's unique vision, creative energy and innovative mindset make them a perfect fit alongside our other global studios. After the sale is complete, Notch, as well as the other co-founders of the Minecraft studio, will step down. On what he'll do after the sale, Notch said, I will leave Mojang and go back to doing Ludum Dares and small web experiments. If I ever accidentally make something that seems to gain traction, I'll probably abandon it immediately.
Oh my goodness.
I bought Minecraft though. I know I did.
How much did you spend?
1,200 Microsoft points.
You should have told Microsoft that.
Exactly, yes. What do we think? So what do we think of this then? Well, first of all, it's no surprise, is it? Because we found out it was happening last week. Didn't we? The rumours surfaced?
We did.
Yeah.
Well, first off, congratulations.
Well done.
She's made the right decision.
We've always liked you, by the way.
We have big fans.
We're big fans of yours.
Probably.
Big old fans.
I can't think of a podcast that supported Minecraft more.
Me neither, actually. And
right from the start.
Actually, I do remember us supporting it right from the start because on A No Continues, we played the beta one time. before it was even a proper thing.
Before it was even a thing.
Before it was just blocks and that. I assume by now they've made it into
we
something.
like Notch's early work.
Welcome to the family, Ollie, by the way. Look, if we were talking about the Minecraft beta and about to talk about your early access, just, don't...
Look at Biffle.
Yeah.
Look at Biffle. Yes.
He's next.
So
yeah, we're really, really happy for him.
done.
I think it's a very, very good acquisition for Microsoft. I think for $2.5 billion, it sounds stupid, but I think that's cheap for what they've got there.
Yeah.
I want to cost $2.5 billion and be called cheap.
I know, but it's a game. It's a generation-defining game. And I think it's going to make that money back very, very quickly for them.
Went on holiday in the summer and went to Turkey, and all the children. So in the evenings, all the kids just sort of stood around on their iPads playing Minecraft. That's what all of them did. All of them.
Right.
All of the
Yeah,
children.
it's just yeah.
And but I think the sort of biggest point is, I'm pleased for Notch. If you read that statement and read everything he said on the subject recently, this is the right decision for his sanity. I think he says this.
That's how he ends it. Yeah, it's not about the money; it's about my sanity. And then he ends it with a copyright 2014. Just in case you want to buy that, it's going to cost you.
Yeah, and that's really telling and kind of sad in a way. It's hard to be sad for a guy who's got
absolutely. He
$2.5 billion.
seemed completely burdened by the spotlight. It was thrust upon him. The weird thing is, though, is that I don't know anybody who plays Minecraft, apart from children.
Yeah, right.
No, but sure, but it's not. It's not a kids' game. Sorry, it wasn't designed to be a kids' game. I don't suspect, but that's just what it's like. Do you know any adults that play it?
No, but I don't know many adults who play Lego either, and
You do.
that's true. But I
Well,
also play a lot of video games.
Okay, yeah,
I play, and I go and watch Lego Star Wars.
Right.
No, sorry, Lego Movie. I don't know. Minecraft is a game that transcends age demographics, doesn't it? And we've all played Minecraft. You've played Minecraft, and I've loved it for 24 hours, and then I've got bored of it. I think that in the same
Because
way,
you have no imagination.
Oh,
You
sure,
do not have
exactly.
the imagination
It's been
of a
eroded.
child.
In the same way as Lego is something that I can go back to every couple of years and really, really enjoy a few afternoons with it. I'm sure Minecraft is the same. Kids have a lot more disposable time and imagination.
We often talk about that time that you and I played Ghost Recon and the time we were hiding behind a shed being shot at by what we assume to be 11-year-olds. Dexter and his mate James, he will come back and tell me about these things that he's discovered in Minecraft, these creatures I've had no idea what they were, or these minerals and ores that he can name that I've never heard of, and show me exactly what's going on with them. And
very soon he'll be paying money for them.
That's right. He'll have his rights slowly taken away from him on formats that don't quite comply with Microsoft.
Do you think they're going to do that?
No,
do you think Microsoft are going to change the
They
way?
said that they're not. They've said that they're going to keep it going on PC and on...
They don't say that they're not. They say they have no plans. They have no. Yeah.
Do you think that they're lying, Simon?
No, I don't think. I think they're telling the truth at the moment. But,
They've only just bought it. They're probably still unwrapping the company.
Exactly.
What is it? Shaking it upside. It sounds like blocks.
Thought we bought that man though. Why he's going to do what's a Ludum Dare? Do we have to buy that next?
Big news, Sony has not given up on the Vita. Following its release in 2012, less than stellar sales, and its absence from Sony's big press conferences this year, you might think the handheld was being put out to pasture, but no. Apparently you can expect fewer big games in the future and more indie titles, ports, and games aimed at younger players, including Minecraft. Speaking to Eurogamer, Sony said, "It's just found its niche. It's not the biggest niche in the world, but for those who want that more specialist device and a more specialist experience, it does a damn good job." As the Spice Girls sang, Vita forever.
But would the biggest niche in the world be 49% of something?
That is a good point.
How big is the biggest niche in the world that Sony appear to be disappointed? Yeah.
What is a niche, Anne?
I mean, if we really want the biggest, yeah.
A niche, I guess, would be a part of something, but you could have a 99% part of something, couldn't you?
No, it's not a niche. But its definition of niche has to be small.
Smaller than half?
No, not smaller. Well, if it's bigger than half, it's bigger then, isn't it? So in order to be small, it needs to be smaller than half, I would say.
Well, then 49%.
Okay,
It's
right.
the biggest niche.
Right. So what is the biggest niche at the moment then? Did anybody ask Sony?
No.
If they know what they're talking about.
Okay, a niche, according to Google, is a shallow recess, especially one in a wall, to display a statue.
What are they talking about?
Vita is not the biggest.
Stashed in a wall.
Or it's a comfortable or suitable position in life or employment.
It doesn't sound like I don't. You don't want to be either of those, do you?
But it's not the biggest, whatever it is.
Have you been playing? You haven't got a Vita, have you?
I haven't got a Vita. I would quite like one though.
They're good.
Actually, that appeals to me more than having it as like a joinder to the PS4, which I also don't have. But that, like, having little games to play on it, like I play games on my phone, and having, like, because I always play games when I'm out or when I'm travelling somewhere, so actually having, like, smaller games or, like, indie games or, like, games for children, because I'm an idiot.
Minecraft's coming.
Yeah, that sounds more up my
It's good at the moment. You can buy games that you can pay sort of 3 times as much for a game that you'd buy on a PC.
Oh, that sounds excellent.
Yes, no, I like that, yeah. No, I've been playing my Vita quite a lot. I bought Counter-Spy for £9 and it comes out on iOS for £3.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Can you not just...
I know, so that makes the iOS a niche in terms of price.
A feature-length documentary about Football Manager will be shown in cinemas in the UK next month. An alternative reality, the Football Manager documentary will explore the game's impact on football culture and its influence within the game. Sports Interactive's Miles Jacobson explained, "The documentary isn't our story, it's the story of people who escaped to the alternative reality of being a football manager and the effect it has on their lives. One Life Left is furious that a spreadsheet will be making it to the big screens before us."
Full disclosure, you baked Miles cookies once.
Did you?
True
That's
story.
And now you're reading. You're covering
reading
him.
Interesting.
Going to look into this.
Didn't he give you a doormat?
Yes.
Oh, right.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you're reading out PR stories
exactly
in the
right.
news.
Unbelievable.
But guys, it's basically just a press release. So
So that's fine.
But what made you choose to cover that one as you were wiping your feet?
well, me and my clean shoes thought it was interesting that this was a documentary that's been made and is going to be in actual cinemas, but it's only in cinemas for one day.
Okay, well, it's still in cinemas.
I
guess,
know,
isn't it?
and that's
still counts.
We were in a cinema once, weren't we?
we have
What
been
did we
in
go
the
to
cinema.
see?
We did something in. I played Guitar Hero in a cinema in Edinburgh once, and didn't we? We did something at Nottingham Game City, that's in the Broadway cinema, didn't we?
Did we?
No, we did it. We did it outside the. We didn't do it in the cinema. We did it in like the lobby area.
Okay.
So we didn't. We still
Well, in
haven't
the
made
cinema.
it to
I think
the big
I
screen.
did a talk in front of. I mean, the cinema wasn't on, it wasn't switched on, but it was in a room, so it still counts as a
Does
cinema,
count.
right?
Doesn't mean you were on the big screen.
I was in
though.
front of the big screen. That's better.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Were you here when? Was it during the summer that either Jonathan or Ian said that we're the only people that call it Nottingham Game City? It's not called that. Really? Yeah. Really? Yeah. Apparently, we're the only ones that call it Nottingham Game City.
What's it called?
Game City.
Game City.
Game City.
Game City.
Gumma City.
Okay.
So who plays Miles Jacobson in this film?
I imagine
And who
it
plays
will be.
his lovely doormat seamstress?
Who would play Miles?
Oh, that's a good question. Danny Dyer.
Yeah.
He's good these days, Danny Dyer, incidentally.
Is he?
Yeah, don't...
In
yeah.
EastEnders. Well, he's getting practice every day of the
Well,
week.
wasn't he
That's right.
doing Danny Dyer's Thomas Was Alone?
The US Army is developing a laser cannon operated by an Xbox controller. The high-energy laser mobile demonstrator will have a powerful battery-powered laser on top of a truck. The truck is designed to be operated by 2 people, one driving and one controlling and shooting the laser using a laptop and an Xbox controller. Speaking in a promotional video, the software development lead at manufacturer Boeing said of the controller, "Something that he doesn't have to go to school to learn for years and years, but something he knows how to use instinctively."
What?
I don't understand.
No, they were just words.
Yeah,
I mean, yes, they were just
that did
words.
feel like a sentence fragment. Have you
Yeah.
edited it down this
No,
correctly?
I had to add an extra word in there.
So
to make
the story
sense.
is that an actual weapon is being controlled by an Xbox?
So it's going to be like a truck and there's going to be a laser on top, and people are inside. So someone's driving it along.
Can I look at this news story, please?
Ordinary
Yeah.
people or soldiers?
I mean, soldiers. It's in the US Army.
Okay.
So someone's going to be driving it along, and someone else is going to be inside. They've got their laptop set up, which is hooked up to the laser, and they're going to be controlling it with the Xbox.
No, this
controller.
is definitely a sentence fragment.
Right,
This is
okay.
not. Something that he doesn't have to go to school to learn for years and years, but something he knows how to use instinctively.
Yeah.
Sounds like a clue, a crossword clue.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, the answer is the Xbox controller.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
What, and this is a good thing, is it, to make war more like a game? If it wasn't as sort of...
Well, it's supposed to be like, you don't want to have to learn all the different new buttons. So if you just give them the buttons they already know, because everyone plays Xbox.
Right.
So everyone plays Xbox. So if you want them to be able to shoot the lasers faster and better...
Which Xbox controller is it? 360?
Yeah, well, they have developed with 360 controllers in the past.
Is it Kinect?
This
I imagine, yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's just the
No,
voice.
back!
The voice
Back!
control.
I meant to cloud save, not
Shouldn't,
wipe out that village.
Don't let them wear all black, because then nothing will be shot at anybody. And finally, a man has been arrested for having a lovely stroll on the White House garden while wearing a Pikachu hat and t-shirt and carrying a Pikachu toy. Doesn't sound like a crime to us. Armed Security Service agents were keen to catch him all after he scaled the fence. He was handcuffed and led away without his hat and toy, but he kept his dignity with his t-shirt on. Finally, the Secret Service has answered the question, how'd you get a Pikachu fan off the White House lawn? You poke him off! You poke him off! Isn't that how it
Did it take you long to get here tonight, Ollie?
Yeah.
Did it?
Really did.
Yeah, your train was cancelled,
Yeah,
wasn't
the one in front caught fire. So.
it? Did it?
Did they have to poke him on?
Right, what made you pick that one? Where did you read about that?
It's on GamerGate.
Was it on Eurogame? It's the sort of thing that Polygon has started doing.
Joke ones.
No, not joke. Like the opposite of that. Stories where someone who plays games has been caught up in real news situations. So I can't think of any off the top of my head
Who
now.
plays games?
No, but it was like there was. Did a plane? Not the one in. Not the one over the Ukraine. There was another plane incident, I think, and actually the Manchester Airport one, where it had to return and it was escorted by a fighter jet. And the story on Polygon was that the man who recorded the video that we all saw on Twitter, if you looked on his social media profiles, he talked about he was a gamer. Did you not see this? It's ridiculous.
I didn't see that. They're everywhere,
didn't
aren't
they? Do a story
gamers?
about the Palestinian conflict, didn't they?
Oh my goodness!
Didn't
that
they? How
happened
that
while we were
affects,
away, didn't it? How that affects video games.
Yeah,
that was ill-judged.
it was ill-judged, just like this story, Anne.
Poke him off!
One Life Left video game news with Anne Scantleberry.
You're listening to One Life Left on Resonance 104.4 FM, and it is good to be back.
Hello.
Hello. We were just talking about Thirds Day.
Thirds Day.
Well, we've been on our summer break. We've had 1, 2 maybe Thirds
think
Days?
two, yeah.
And they've been tremendous. And there's another one this Thursday, so if you're listening to this...
Why is there one this Thursday? Because it's the third Thursday. There's one every third Thursday, isn't there?
Very easy to remember.
Everybody.
Hashtag Thursday. Not every third Thursday, but
It's the third
Thursday of a
the
month.
It's the third
Don't just count Thursdays.
Thursday every third.
No, don't do that. Basically, at the start of a month, look in your
You
calendar.
look
at it.
It's easy.
Get it out.
Open
Get
your
the
calendar
first
and just
Thursday.
find the T in your calendar, not the
second
Tuesday
T.
one.
The second T,
Very
third.
important, because otherwise that would be
Second T.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday. So
Doesn't
find
work.
the second T, count down the third one of those. None of the greyed out ones, the real ones.
Yep.
Find the third one. That's when we'll be doing the
That's it.
karaoke.
September the 18th.
We are going to be doing it. When we say we, me and Anne, not you.
No, I'm going
Although there is going to be
Oh.
a replacement.
Yeah, I believe you've flown in another Simon,
We've got a
haven't
backup, Simon. We've got Parko coming in.
Yeah.
And Parko's written a song for Thursday. Thursday, by the way, is where we do our video game karaoke at Loading Bar, and we all sing songs about video games, pop songs rewritten to be about video games. Simon Parkin has rewritten Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith.
you? Excellent.
Not going to tell you what it's about. You'll have to come to Thursday to see
Are there any
that.
special guests coming? You sort of mentioned, is that happening maybe?
Unfortunately not.
Next time.
Next time.
No, obviously there'll be very special guests, as in everybody.
Parko, everyone who's turning up. That's,
Oh, it was packed last time, wasn't it?
Gillen was there. He sent his apologies for this time because he really wanted to come again.
And why is he not coming?
He's got a special comics date.
See, how
Yeah.
lovely.
Special comics date. But he'll be there in the October
Thursday.
Yeah, October Thursday, which is easy to find. It's the third Thursday
Not
of the month.
Right.
Of October.
Thursday. Yeah.
So this Thursday, 7 o'clock, Loading Bar, Dalston.
That's right.
See you
yes.
there.
Stoke Newington, are they the same thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Basically.
Yeah.
Loading Bar.
Basically.
North. London.
East.
Whatever. Loading Bar. It's
Yeah,
bar scenario.
you
Doesn't
find
matter.
it.
Hashtag.
You'll find it. Don't worry. You'll find it.
Find us.
Just get off at London.
Just ask the first cop you see. What's that, Governor? You want to go to One Life Left Thursday? Why? Why just hop on this bed knobs and broomsticks?
Be good, yeah, it was excellent, really excellent. It's been excellent everyone. Everyone's got better.
Everyone
This is going to be the
has
best
got
best ever.
Really
Best
excited.
ever.
Ollie, what are you doing on Thursday?
I'm going to Third Thursday.
Are you?
Really?
Good job.
Excellent.
It's actually the fifth Thursday.
Yeah, Loading Bar.
Good. Well, you one day, of course, people might be singing songs about your game. One day.
One
This
day.
is Sad Machine, by the way, by Legacy. You
Okay.
can find it at chipmusic.org. And it's fading out now because we're going to the interview segment of the show.
Tell us about LA Cops, Ollie.
Yeah, so LA Cops is a top-down shooter we have in development. We've had it in development for PC and Steam's on Mac as well. And it's kind of, you remember last generation, everything was brown and grey and grimy. With
Yep.
LA Cops, we're going bright, vibrant,
What?
over-the-top colours. It's just, it will burn
This
your eyeballs.
generation can do new colours.
Okay,
Yeah,
excellent,
It's got
nice.
some oranges and some pinks.
Oh, fantastic.
Well, there's just a switch somewhere that we found that you can turn colour on.
Okay.
And ever since then, we've just
What's
been blowing the monitors out.
What's the predominant colour?
Oh, that's a good question. Because it's a bit arty, the inspiration. It's going around like Tate, and you see David Hockney's bigger splash painting, and that's kind of blue and beige and orange and yellow, and that's the kind of feel. The California sun.
It's absolutely wonderful. I'd urge you, PC and Mac owners, to check it out now. It has such a fantastic sense of style. It's up in early access, so how's that going?
It's been brilliant. I'm so glad we did it. It was kind of everyone told us, don't do it, it's too risky. And they were right. But we just got so much great feedback and support from players just telling us, like, we like this, we don't like this.
Okay.
And we can literally, every release we've been doing, we're saying, right, these things that you didn't like, we've addressed, and we've added some more stuff and some more stuff and some more stuff. And we're sort of really getting some momentum now, which is fantastic.
So I sort of fell in love with it the first time I saw it, and full disclosure, Ollie sent me a code, okay? All right, and now he's on the show. That's full disclosure.
Was it just a code, or was there anything else in the
It was just a code at the moment.
but any pleasantries?
No. Well,
Really?
No, there were pleasantries.
Just a code in an email.
I just said, send me a code and I'll make you big like Biffle. I said, no. You very kindly gave us some extra ones that we gave away to a listener over Twitter. It was Steve Owen, full disclosure.
Yeah.
He's a friend of ours, but
He writes letters in
does
sometimes.
write letters in.
This is not any kind of payment.
But you can check on Twitter. He enters competition and stuff like that. So I played it. Now we've spoken about early access on the show before, and both Steve and I have felt a little wary of it. Excuse me. In that we want games to be finished when we play them. And so I loaded LA Cops up and played it super briefly because I'm really looking forward to the final version. So is it difficult at this stage? Because at the moment you don't have or last time I played it wasn't a campaign as such. There was no tutorial. You sort of went straight in. It was still brilliant.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna hang off. So is it difficult designing a game like that? Because this is a brand new sort of discipline, I guess.
Yeah, I think one of the best and worst things about being a game maker is you get to make whatever you want, but then you never really know what people like about a game until you give it to them. And it's I always think of game making, if it's like anything, it's like owning a restaurant. You never really know what people like to eat until you put the food out, and you have to listen to them. So it is really difficult to have a vision that is strong and come up with that and to focus on it and bring it up, but then also to listen to what people are telling you and to make sure that it's that experience is that much better. The levels are great, the shooting is working right, you can control the cops in the right way. The things that stick out to you as a game maker, like there's a foot sliding, no one ever notices. The bits that they really care about, when you're going to get local co-op in and those kind of things. So it's...
How do you know who to listen to in that audience and who to ignore?
Oh, that's a really good... Usually it works out. You've got a scale and a timeline in which you can develop the game in, and a budget, and you sort of say, well, I would absolutely love to do multiplayer online, but I just literally cannot do it in the timescales that we have, so that's what we can't do. But usually, I mean, I find players know a good game, and if you talk with them and really get to, really understand what they're telling you, they will tell you what will make the game that much better. I mean, I hardly meet anyone who doesn't have a good idea of what makes a fun game. So you just really listen to what people are saying.
Everyone?
Pretty much, yeah.
Really?
I do.
Okay.
I get emails all the time, and I do reply, and I do talk to people.
No. I think it's excellent to listen to people generally, but I find that a lot of the time when you're looking at feedback from so many different sources, that feedback sits in opposition to each other. So some people say, I want the game to be faster, and some people say I want the game to be slower. So it's hard to decide which direction to take it in, and especially with early access where everybody is invested in the game. Each of the person who said want it to be faster and the person who wants to be slower, each of those people have paid their early access fee. You can't keep them all happy.
No.
And someone is going to hate you.
Yeah, and it's the guy who wants it to be GTA LA Cops that's going to hate me.
Of course, and everyone is just a tweet away from being violently insulted.
Yeah,
So,
I nearly had something kick off the other day. We accidentally put the word lift in the game instead of elevator.
Get out!
It really did.
I pay your wages.
We had to soothe that one immediately and promise it would be in the next update, which it will be. That won't be a mistake we make again.
So tell us about the inspiration for it then.
I grew up. You guys are talking about games that we play as kids. Like, kids play a lot of Minecraft now. When I was a kid, we played a lot of Amiga games. Yep. And there were a lot of top-down shooters like Syndicate, Cannon Fodder, those kind of games. And I just thought they were brilliant. And then it was a revelation to see Hotline Miami play it. That was an amazing game. And then see that people were loving it and thinking, we can still make these games and people will buy them. We'll be able to get away with it, and just really wanted to give that a shot. And also, again, get away from that grimy brownness that we've had in the previous generation. It's great to see games like Hohokum coming out that are really just pushing it. And it's just so vibrant, great to look at. I'd like to see a lot more games like that.
I mean, it didn't strike me as being like Hotline Miami, but I don't think anybody's got off the first level of Hotline Miami, have they? That's a difficult game. I think you're all lying about it, but no, I loved the way, and it's interesting that I started my journalism career writing for a magazine called The One, which covered Amiga games, and
I remember that magazine. I used to buy it.
You don't strike me as being that old, but I'd not got the Cannon Fodder analogy or the Syndicate, and I was really impressed, like with the sort of, again, because you're playing two cops and you can jump between them. So the idea that you have to sort of position them and then move around, and as you leave one, the other has sort of semi-intelligent.
I guess we've kind of grown it since you've last seen it, because what you can do now is you can take control of one cop and position the other with like a middle mouse button, and they'll go to where you want them to go. So that's great for lining up. So a little bit like Cannon Fodder in that way, you position your soldiers around, but you can still control them in real time.
time. And there's a lot we can do with that. So it's kind of, we started from something very, very basic and tried to get that right, and then we've just been layering the complexity on top of it, so we can do more sophisticated things like have one cop by one door, another cop by another door, and then middle mouse button, click him to go in. You go in at the same time. Suddenly there's a big firefight as all the bad guys are charging towards you. You've got enough firepower to take them down, and that's really where we wanted to get to, and that's where we're getting to now.
Can I ask an annoying question?
No.
All right, back to you, Simon.
Go ahead.
It's my radio show. I'll do what I want. So there's been a lot of stuff in the press in the States at the moment, actually globally, about the militarization of police and the glamorization of their guns and their hardware.
Yeah.
How has that affected your game and how you develop the game and how you approach the material?
Well, we deliberately based the game on the 70s cop shows, the early 80s cop shows. I mean, we're looking at, even things like Cagney and Lacey was, I love that show. It was a big inspiration, getting that feel across for the game. And that was also something we wanted to get across in the equality, have female characters in there, not to have victim female characters in there that you have to rescue, to have men that you have to rescue, and to shake things up in that way, to be progressive in that way. But then it is, I keep an eye on what's going on with LA cops, and it's quite depressing, but they have a terrible reputation, which is... Going back,
I have to say, when I was doing my research on you, I typed in LA cops and a news story came up about how
that's what led the sort of thought in my head is that LA cops is a phrase that has emotional resonance and not in a positive way.
It does, and it's kind of when I came up with the idea for it, I was thinking Starsky and Hutch.
Of course.
Some of the tweets that I see every day. It's just pretty depressing. I mean, it's a fantasy. LA Cops is a fantasy. It's not real. It's not meant to be real.
And it's set in a playful universe from a different era as well.
Yeah,
which is how you get around annoying questions like that.
So, when are you looking to come out of early access?
It's a really good question. We've got some exciting news that I really wish I could announce today, but I can't.
Of course you can.
We won't tell anyone.
Keep an eye on what's happening over the next couple of weeks, because we've got some cool news about that coming up.
Can you tell us some keywords in that news?
I.e. the date and the year. The month and the year.
Give us a date. Give us a number, like the day of the week.
Soon, platforms. Is that enough? Is that enough of a clue?
What colour, though?
What colour?
What colour?
If you were a synesthetic, what day? What colour would the day be that it's coming out on?
It would be purple.
Ooh,
interesting. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Boom.
I bet you do.
Excellent. Well, good luck with it. I will pop my head around and revisit again soon. But really looking forward to the finished version. So good luck.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Sega Badawi and welcome to One Life Left Local News. The controversial end to the most recent episode of the Great Gaming Bake Off has seen numerous complaints made to Ofcom. The incident saw the Irish baker Atlas from Bioshock's Baked Alaska being taken out of the freezer and the ice cream melted. Atlas reacted angrily to this and put it straight into the recycling bin. The presenters, Melbourne House and PlayStation 2, aka Mel and PS2, tried to salvage the pudding, but Atlas had already emptied the recycling bin, thereby making it irretrievable. The judges, Poffinberry and Chop Chop Master Onion, had no choice but to ask Atlas if he would kindly leave the competition. The baker who took the baked Alaska out of the freezer, Cooking Grandmama, says it wasn't left out long enough to cause such an effect. Thanks, and back to your usual programming.
One Life Letters.
Thanks so much for all your letters today. We have been amazed by the
thank you
by the reception. We didn't have to beg this week, not much.
Not at all, no. Thank you. There's been one subject that has dominated your letters. Alex Warner writes, Notch was making a Doom-level renderer whilst waiting for his $2.5 billion check to come through. What do you do to pass time during massive financial transactions? It would be lovely to find out.
Interesting. I think, I'm not certain about this, but I think One Life Left shares a lawyer with Notch.
Really?
That'll make it easy, won't it? When when Microsoft buy us, just use the same contracts.
Fine,
Don't
yeah.
even have to change the numbers.
Yeah.
Notch. Zubair Patel writes, "Hi team and super special guests. I haven't listened in ages, so what's cracking? I was wondering what you'd do with £1 billion if you sold your award-winning Lego simulator. I'd buy more Legos and make the world's first Lego smartphone, which is fully customisable. Then I'd sell it all for another £1 billion. Who said greed isn't good? Love the show. Fots, Zubair."
Thanks, Zubair. Don't ever say Legos again, or I'll cut you.
And then this one came in, which says, "I'm leaving Mojang," which I presume was a letter for the show.
Sounds like it.
Okay, hi s10e, writes John Kendall. Destiny is a big game where everyone exists in the same universe and can dip in and out to interact with other players. As I understand it, I've not played it. As someone who has invested 100 plus hours into many solely single-player games like Skyrim and Fallout, I feel this new breed of massive multiplayer experiences disorientating and intimidating. Am I just a hopeless Luddite, trapped in the pre-broadband era where games were things you played by yourself or with 3 friends, max, sitting next to you on the same couch? No more. Or is there a future in purely single-player experiences where you don't have to worry about other people interrupting the experience, keep up the good work, etc.? By the way, s10e was chosen arbitrarily, no disrespect to you two guys.
That's how it works.
So, what do you think? Is that it for single-player games?
No.
I hope not.
No.
I hate other people. I don't like if I don't know you. I don't want to.
I don't want to know you.
I don't want to know you. I know
full up.
all of the people that I need to know right now.
Although, in the lobby area of Destiny, you can dance with strangers, can't you? Have you seen the videos of that?
Sounds like Phantasy Star Online all over again.
I've not played Destiny, have you?
I haven't. I did write to Red Consultancy the other day. And
Full
said,
disclosure.
Full disclosure. Can we have a copy of Destiny for the show?
Yeah.
But, I'll check right now to see whether they've got back to us, shall I? You get on with another letter.
Okay, hi team. Again, Destiny. If you don't give Destiny a 7 out of 10, I'll posthumously boycott your review after it's already been aired. Real
enough.
questions. If one were looking for a start in the games industry, what fantastic, brilliant, interesting, vivacious and scrummy London-based developers might one look up? Thanks, Tom Q.
Interesting. Who
It depends what you want to do, Tom Q,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
What do you mean when you say a start?
Yeah.
We like Bossa, don't we?
We like Bossa, we like Curve Studios.
Yeah.
Bossa and Curve are great.
What other London-based developers are there? Ollie, would you move to London to help Tom Q out?
Yeah.
Let's head up to Leamington, Tom. Start with LA Cops Limited. What happens when you make a game that's not LA Cops?
That's very difficult. It's clearly we're just going to have to make LA Cops games for this. That's all we can do.
Leamington Cops. No email from Red Consultancy in response to my polite...
It's time we call these people out.
I know, no, seriously, because they're the
Who
same
at
people.
Red?
Red are...
No, who at Red? Who did you email?
Sam,
at
sorry.
Red.
I can't tell you his surname because Gmail is very informal and just says Sam, comma me
Right, okay.
in there. I can if I look it up. Here we go. Sam Ellis.
If anybody
Red
knows Sam
Consultancy.
Ellis, can you let them know
Just tell them to drop us a line.
Just tell us.
they're going on
because-
the list that we started?
No, I didn't even ask for it in triplicate. I just
Right.
said, we don't need, at this point, just one copy. If it's good, then maybe we'll go triplicate
Yeah.
and we'll explore the universe of Destiny. No email back from them.
Okay, let's boycott Destiny until it comes in.
Yes.
Yeah?
So, if Destiny fails...
You know why?
No, why? Sam Ellis.
Yeah.
So, any other letters? Oh, sorry. Off you go.
Oh, yeah, got one more. This is from James Parker. Hello, James. Hello, team.
Hi.
You probably have missed this, and it certainly won't have been covered in the news. But today, Microsoft bought Mojang for $2.5 billion.
Anne, how did you miss that?
Minecraft.
Microscraft.
It's a shock to me. My question for you and your super special guest, hey Ollie, is, hello James, if you had access to $2.5 billion of spending money, which games development team would you buy, either to continue to create great work or, out of spite, to drive totally into the ground so that they never make anything again?
What is how much is Mojang worth now? Right, has it gone up or down, do you think?
Probably down.
Yeah,
it's probably
I would have
falling,
thought so.
Like, just because people are sceptical about Microsoft. But I would buy... I think for, as I said earlier, for business reasons, 2.5 million is billion. Sorry, is excellent value for
Easy to get those
Mojang.
two
If I was buying a studio, I'd probably buy Harmonix because they have lots of games I'd like to make again and again, mostly frequency. but I wouldn't spend that amount of money on anything. I'd buy an island,
I would
go and live there.
I'd set up my own studio. If I had to spend it on a game studio, I'd set up my own studio and poach all of the best ones from all of the other places and ruin them and make a super team.
Very good.
Yeah.
Seems spiteful now.
Very good.
That's what I am.
Is that it for letters, Simon?
I think so. Thank you ever so much. Please do continue to write to us because we do love to receive your letters. You can get in touch by emailing
team@onelifeleft.com.
We were 5 seconds.
This is a new style.
Kremland and Disco, this is from shipmusic.org as well. We are One Life Left, a video game radio show broadcasting live on Resonance FM 104.4 FM across London or www.resonancefm.com across the internet. Anything to say, guys, or should we just...
Well, I was going to say, we're going to... I think we should turn the music off. So, we did have one more letter.
We did.
From our friends Edgar Saleh, Pierre Lamy. Hey dudes and potential guest stroke. Welcome back, we have missed you. Are we making the GamerGate business worse by constantly reporting on it? Would it have settled down by now if the media ignored it, or is it totally necessary? We're going to come back. I assume if you don't read this letter, then you think it has been covered enough. And then goes, P.S. I've been playing the Settlers. Loads, any tips? I mean, if we were to choose one topic from that letter to address...
So we went on GameFAQs and looked up the Settlers.
Just to recap, for anybody who hasn't been...
Well, we've been off for the summer, so you probably don't know anything about video games. Been going outside for a while, haven't you? Not checking social media, and that's probably for the best.
Probably the best thing to do, because over the last few weeks, it's been horrific. Absolutely horrific. For certain sections of the game community, press, developers. What is going on?
Oh.
So, what's going on? There has been a split in video games on Twitter, and there's a certain group of people who believe that video games should be one thing, and that thing should involve shooting and killing and driving and points scoring. And they are the sort of people who tag Gone Home on Steam with Walking Simulator, which is actually quite a funny joke.
Exactly, yeah.
It's not bad. But it's not a funny joke if you believe it and believe games like that shouldn't exist, and games like Papers, Please aren't games, and games like Dear Esther aren't game, or Tale of Tales' brilliant work aren't games. And there's another group of people who believe that those people, the first group, are archaic, and, you know, those people who identify as gamers, they're dead and doomed, and they should all go away and stop being children.
And that's cool, though, right? People having different opinions, that's completely fine.
Because video games are growing. They are a huge medium. They are just a vessel where you can place anything, and it's okay for you to love any part of them.
What is not okay is to get in touch with people directly and threaten them, or call, or investigate, or spend too much time on the internet going through people's past or what have you.
And you know, issuing death threats, you know, violent threats on social media is a criminal act, and I guess that's the core of this matter. People are mistaking this argument for one, like the gamers against the rest of the world. Actually, it's every decent human against criminals, and people who do this sort of thing should be prosecuted and sent to prison and stopped from doing that sort of thing. As far as the plurality of video games, I think every right-thinking person believes this is a great medium, interactive worlds should... Simon and I disagree about video games all the time. It doesn't mean we're trying to stab each other in the eyes with screwdrivers. Like, there are games that you don't like because they don't please you.
And there's games you don't like because you're an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. And it's awful. And I think the other thing worth calling out here is that a lot of the people on one side of the argument are using this as an excuse to further part of their agenda, which is they don't like women. They think women are ruining video games, and obviously these people are unhinged, because the more people of all kinds of different diverse backgrounds we get in video games, the more different experiences we create, and that's really exciting. And it's really, really horrible to see my friends being harangued on Twitter for nothing more than the fact that they are not straight white men making video games.
And a lot of this has been done under a guise of, no, we're uncovering some corruption in the games industry. Which, if they actually wanted to uncover some corruption, sure there is some, but I think that it's
awful lot
it's not being targeted in the right areas.
Well, I think it's telling that Simon Parkin, we love him and make fun of him all the time, but he is a very, very best friend of the show, wrote an article for I think it was for the New Yorker, saying how he doesn't believe the term gamer is helpful. And he wants our medium to move past referring to gamers. And I thought it was a great, beautiful piece, well written, and it did not receive, didn't result in him receiving death threats or anything. But as soon as Lee Alexander writes a piece, she gets just this hateful social media feedback, and that is, I believe, largely to do with her gender, and that's not good.
And then, persecuting people under that guise. As someone who's been working in the video games industry since 1992, I've heard tales of corruption, and they were many, many, many years ago. We've all heard stories about things that have happened. And I can tell you now that the world is much, much more transparent. I must say so, by the way, I've never been involved in any of those, but we've heard the rumours. I've not heard anything for years and years and years. The world is transparent. You would be foolish to either be corrupted or try to corrupt. You'd get called out very, very quickly. They're looking for something that just does not exist.
Furthermore, Simon Parkin wrote an article about actual corruption in video games, about YouTube superstars and the sort of things they will do for money. And
literally, that's yes.
And again, it's just been mostly ignored.
They will cover your games for money.
Yes, which is corruption. One Life Left will cover your game for money.
But we will also disclose that we're going to cover your game for money.
If you want us to review your game for any, you can pay us money. We will review your game. We will give it 7 out of 10 on this show, and we will put a price on that right now. Give us £1,000 each.
Yeah, go with each.
Well, it doesn't have to be each. We're negotiable. £1,000 negotiable, and we will review your game on this show.
Is that can we apply that price retrospectively?
Yes. So we will be invoicing.
Stand by your faxes.
Okay, Super Roger World coming up.
Chapter 8. Not all men. The old excuse that games companies give for not having female characters, that they're too difficult to animate, is of course nonsense. Those who work behind the scenes know that all they need do is hire female actors, and the rest will fall into place. No. The difficulty is that many of the male actors, myself included, are so incredible that there simply isn't room for any women. And taking a note from Shakespeare, many of the most famous female characters are actually played by men. Princess Peach, for example, is played by my friend Clive Nestor. He doesn't even bother shaving off his moustache. In the progressive 90s, I was once cast as an ageing but still energetic archaeologist, and I remember the actress playing my busty sidekick frequently moaned about gender discrimination in games. Lara, I remember saying to her, "It's not your time. There simply isn't a market for a female-led game. Give it another 30 or 50 years. She went off in a huff, bless her. During an early scene set in my character's mansion, I accidentally locked myself in the refrigerator, and by the time I managed to get out, she'd gone and had the adventure without me. The reviews were surprisingly positive. And thus, the Tomb Raider franchise was born, and through a small act of clumsiness, I did my own bit to encourage gender equality in gaming. Of course, that didn't stop me suing IDOS for gender discrimination. I could have easily squeezed into those hot pants, and I've got the photos to prove it.
Reviews. We've had such a nice summer. Surely we haven't spent it all playing video games, but we've played some, right?
Played a lot. I've been most recently been playing Valiant Hearts, The Great War, I believe is its full title.
Okay.
Which is it's an Ubisoft, I think it's called like an Ubi Frame or an Ubi Art game. They all use the same engine. So what you get is a beautiful 2D world. In this instance, tackling a very difficult subject, the First World War, and it tells the story of 3, is it? Maybe 4 characters whose stories are linked over the course of the game. It's one that I had my eye on when it first came out on PC, but it's made by Ubisoft, therefore it's Uplay, and I've sort of vowed never to use that again. So I saw it was coming out on iOS, and I was like, okay, great, this is the perfect way for me to play this game. And yeah, from the moment it loads up, you can tell that a great deal of effort and emotion has gone into it, and for the sort of early stages that it leads you through, it's a story which you know is going to be impactful and affecting, and actually, you know, history was never one of my strong points at school. And yeah, I felt like I'd sort of learnt more about the First World War than I had done in a really long time. I also learnt what it's like to play a game by someone who presumably has read about touchscreen controls, but has presumably never actually used them, because the implementation of this beautiful game on iOS is distinctly ugly, and the only times I've ever failed has been when I've been wrestling with trying to get the characters to do what I want them to do, and it's really taken the edge off it for me. Full disclosure, I paid money for this. I bought $2.99 for the first episode, and then I paid $5.99 for the following 4 episodes. I'm on to episode 2 at the moment, thinking I really want to support what you're doing here. It's an arty game, it looks lovely, it's tackling an interesting and potentially difficult subject, and I've reached the stage now where I think I'm just gonna have to stop playing it, or I fear for my iPad screen. So I'm conflicted by it. It's clearly a very good game, and I think if you had a pad with it, or if it was out on Vita or something like that, then it's going to be absolutely wonderful, but I cannot recommend it. It's just dreadful. Every day I load it up to see if there's been an update, and they've gone, hey, we've listened to your feedback and we've realised that none of you can play it, but no, 7 out of 10. Yeah.
I've been playing Photonica, which is a lovely game where you run along a platform, and it's all line drawn, black and white, and then these neon colours come into it.
I heard about this. This is a Res style endless runner, right?
Yeah, it's lovely. So you run. So you're running along the platform. You hold. So I was playing it on iPad and on my iPhone. So you, not at the same time, different times.
Okay, wow.
Cross-platform.
Right, yeah.
So you hold your finger down on the screen to run along, and then you release it to jump. So you're jumping from platform to platform because there are gaps in them, and you're trying to hit these colourful circles in there, and trying to get to the end of the level so that you can unlock new levels. And it's just really lovely, and it's got the most lovely soundtrack along with it as well. It's quite hard at times. Sometimes I didn't jump right. And I had to go back, and then you fall. So actually, this is quite good. So there's the platform that you're running along, and if say you miss the platform that you're going to, there's probably a platform underneath it that you'll end up going onto. But the higher you stay, then the easier it gets towards the end when you might fall off all of the platforms and go into an abyss. And you've really got to try to not go into the abyss. Don't do that.
Whatever you do.
I think it's really, really lovely. Like the controls are super, super easy. It's just jumping is hard sometimes. 7 out of 10.
Ollie.
I was going to say Destiny, but I've just started playing that, so I thought I'd actually talk about Hearthstone.
And one of Anne's tasks was to learn that.
Yeah, how did that go?
I didn't do that, but
Okay.
I did acquire an iPad, so I can start doing
Okay,
that.
great.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
For me, free-to-play gets bashed a lot, and I think there are a lot of exploitative free-to-play games out there. For me, Hearthstone isn't one of them. It does free-to-play really, really well in that it gets you into playing a game that is very enjoyable. It's got a lot of history. It's got a lot of things that you can enjoy about it. And then what you can do is buy extra packs of cards and get more cool stuff with it. So if you spend money on it, you're going to get cool stuff back. As it is, you can keep playing, get more and more out of it for free. And the way the game is set up is perfect for touch. I think a lot of games go wrong on iOS. You were talking about Valiant Hearts earlier. It's just that game is beautiful. Apparently, it's just one guy made all the art for that.
Oh,
He's
really?
done an
Right.
amazing job. But
If only he could register object collision then, because when I've tried to there's something I need to pick up. I can touch it.
that's
Doesn't
it.
register
That's
it.
It's trying to do that sort of game. For me, it doesn't belong on a touch device.
Right,
If you're
yeah.
going to make a game for touch, you should do it
Yeah.
with touch controls in mind, and that's what they've done with Hearthstone. And just the execution is amazing. And I'll happily say it's one of my favourite games ever.
Wow.
Wow.
7 out of 10.
Should probably give it a go.
I've been playing loads of games over summer, but
Pick one.
let's talk about Crimson Land, because it's not a game that I've heard anyone else talk about.
I own it, obviously.
Of course you
A
do.
steam pile of shame.
So Crimson Land is a top-down Robotron-style twin-stick shooter developed by friends of One Life Left, because they emailed us code.
Full disclosure.
10 Tons, Finnish game studio, and I've really enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it even more when some friends came around to my house and I played it 4-player. It's very stupid and simple, lots and lots of weapons to pick up, lots and lots of killing to do. The reason it's called Crimson Land is because the ground goes bloody pretty quickly. It's got a Starship Troopers stupid killing bugs kind of vibe. But I really think those dumb, stupid games where you don't really think about anything apart from killing really come into their own when you're surrounded by people you love. So that's what we did. We also played Diablo as well, which is also similarly mindless, built for a budget of, a billion times more, and had basically the same amount of fun with both experiences. I totally recommend it. If you want to play it single player, there's a good single player game in there as well. Lots of quests and perks, which I believe are the trendy thing at the moment. You choose between a certain advantage and disadvantage every time you go up a level. It's quite good. I enjoyed it. 7 out of 10.
Good stuff.
There we go. Have we got time for another song? Do you
Very
think?
quickly.
All right, let's put something on. Let's go for this. This is Clam, another favourite of One Life Left, and it's Mega Man Rescues the Pink Girl. All of the music that we have been playing today on One Life Left you can find at chipmusic.org.
It's good to be back.
It's so good to be back.
Thanks for coming in, Ollie. Have you had a nice time?
I had a fantastic time. Thanks for having me.
Tell us where we can find out about Ellie Cops if we don't want to Google it.
If you want to know more, you can go to www.la-cops.com.
And when's it coming out of early access again?
Some near point in the future. There'll be some exciting
Purple
announcements
Simon.
coming in.
Purple Simon.
Good luck with it.
That one's,
No,
shout out to the synesthetics out there. You know what we're talking about.
Genuinely looking forward to it. And do stay in touch. Can we come back on soon? We didn't even talk about you being a BAFTA Breakthrough Brit.
What?
I know.
BBB.
Can I do a big shout out to those guys? They've been wonderful this year.
BAFTA?
Yeah.
Yes.
No point
they're
on being on the
amazing.
radio
They are
if
wonderful.
You don't do a shout out.
Shout out to BAFTA.
Big up yourselves, BAFTA. I'm a BAFTA member now, by the way.
Are you?
Really?
Yes, I am.
Do we have to disclose that?
I think
I
we
do, yeah. I joined last week.
Mm.
So let's have a meeting in 195 Piccadilly.
What are you a member of, Anne? Things we should disclose. I'm a member of Surrey County Cricket Club and of the Tate.
I don't think I'm a member of anything at the minute. I think I'm
Really?
a renegade.
Not a gym.
I can't believe you didn't
Fitness
do...
first.
I can't believe you didn't do your summer project. s10e and I have been making games. We've been
Yep.
doing our bit.
We have.
I've been having a lovely
How are
summer.
your games coming along?
Pretty good. We'll have some news on that soon.
Yeah, soon.
I hope.
Yeah, we can't tell you at the moment, Ollie. Thanks. I can't tell you the release date of mine. I wish I could. I genuinely don't know. Good. So we'll see you on Thursday.
Thursday for Thursday.
Please come.
Thursday. That's Thursday. This Thursday. Come along to the loading bar and it'll be amazing. See you there. Until then, we've
Thanks
been
for
One Life
listening.
Left. See you later.
See you, bye.
Bye.